The Neocolor 2 watercolor crayons are actually very easy to use and techniques are pretty simple. And that's what I would like to share in today's video with a very simple landscape painting. Hi, I'm Françoise. Welcome back to my channel. I'm painting from this simple reference photo today, and you will find the tutorial that I'm about to share with you in real time and with my voiceover on Patreon. I'll link it in the description below if you feel like joining for a small monthly fee and learn from over 150 watercolor pencil, and mixed media videos. I'll be using this basic set of 10 Neocolor 2, and I decided to go for the primary colors since they'll be great to paint the water and the autumn trees. And I also went for brown and black to paint the branches and add some shadows. If you're into watercolor painting, notice that the supplies here are just the same, except maybe for this palette here, since it does have a rough side to it, and I do use it a lot to paint with my watercolor pencils and also the watercolor crayons. I also like to use this ceramic palette for crayons, and the main reason for that is the texture of the palette once more. The first technique that I'd like to showcase here is the swatching technique. To execute this technique, all I do is pre-wet my palette just to make it easier to get pigment out of the crayons, and I simply scribble with my chosen colors. And this technique is actually great to paint wet and wet with crayons. Wet and wet is when you wet the watercolor paper first and then you apply paint onto it. And I love to use it because I am able to paint smooth washes of color that look like traditional watercolor, even though I'm using crayons. Because you'll notice that if you use your crayons directly on paper and then you try and activate the paint, sure, it's going to work, but it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to completely remove the scribbles with the water. You'll still see marks underneath your blended paint. Here I am able, as you can see, to create a one color gradient very easily. It's super smooth and it will be perfect to depict sky and water. So definitely for something like a landscape painting, I think this technique is a must know, and try it. It's very fun and very easy to do. The sheet isn't as wet anymore, so I think it's time to add some trees. And I wait on purpose because if the trees are added early on, the paint will spread out like crazy because there is still so much water on paper. If you wait for your sheet to dry just a little bit, and while this is happening, paint the other things like water and sky, then your paint will stick to the paper a little bit better, as long as the paint itself is not very runny. So the way watercolor crayons work is actually the same than watercolors. Remember to try and match the level of humidity between paper and paints. That's why I'll start with creamy washes of paint, and I'll increase the amount of pigment in my mixes little by little as the sheet dries, so that their consistency matches the drying sheet. To add realism to any piece of art, it really helps to observe the reference really well. And that's why here I like to add reflections right away in the water so they look as natural as the trees themselves. Because if you look at the reference photo, you can clearly see that the reflections melt into the background just as well as the actual trees are. Contrast is also very, very important, and that is why I use brown to place my first shadows. Now there's something about the Neocolor 2 that I need to address here, and this is visible with this brown color. Because if you look at it, it's actually a little bit weak. I mean, it's not that dark at all. It doesn't do much for contrast. It is something I noticed about those crayons. And actually, one of you pointed out the same recently in my comments, that generally colors are a bit weak unless we layer like I'm doing now and also keep working on the water to paint ratio and increasing the amount of pigment in the paints. Another trick is to use a dark dark to amplify those shadows. And my darkest color in this small set here is black. And you can see how it instantly deepens the color. That's what we're looking for to add a little bit of realism to a simple painting like this one. This problem with getting good vibrancy and color intensity with a Neocolor too, I think has to do with the brand itself. And don't get me wrong, Caran d'Ache is an excellent brand. I love it for watercolor pencils and everything else I've tried, including oil pastels. But I must say I own another brand of watercolor crayons by Art Philosophy, and these feel much, much easier to work with in terms of how vibrant they actually look on paper and how easy it is to make them look opaque with 1 or 2 layers. And I actually talked about this last week when I shared this pair painting here. And I'll link that video at the end of this one if you want to check it out, because I think it's a very interesting one where I compare watercolor to watercolor pencils and watercolor crayons. And there are a bunch of tips in there, so definitely check it out. I'm not a fan of painting with the crayons directly on paper usually, unless I do it like this. This is a very cool technique where you just apply a dry crayon on a wet paper, and the pigment from the crayon will deposit itself very easily, and it will also show a lot more than if you were to just apply paints from the crayon with a paintbrush. This really is a fantastic way to add an instant touch of color that will be noticeable. So if you need opacity with those Neocolor too, or just a strong touch somewhere, go for that. And I think this technique works a lot better in a later stage of your painting when you've already added your main colors and you just want to add a little bit of texture, because that's what it will give you, but you will avoid the super streaky look from just, coloring with the crayons right away, right from the beginning of the painting and then trying to activate. Here we're really starting from a smooth base already, just adding a little bit of texture on top. I tried not to overdo it when I use that technique, and even though it looks great as it is, I still can't help to smooth everything out, or almost everything, because in my style, I like it that way. So here I'm basically hoping those tiny chunks of pigment to melt into what's already there a bit better. And I think the outcome looks great and very natural in the end. If so far you're enjoying this video, please let me know in the comments. Just comment more watercolor crayons and I will know to make more videos about this. This is the blurry part of the painting. It is meant to look like it's in the distance, and the branches in the front will help set that impression. That's why it's important to now dry the sheet completely and to start using the crayons on dry paper now. These fine branches are the type of thing crayons can help us draw as long as they're sharp. So you can decide to sharpen yours too, if you like. And if you're concerned about wasting pigment, why not just save the shavings aside and then turn them into paint later? That's completely doable. Now, another very cool technique that I think is worth checking out and trying is when you want to deposit more color right away on dry, just wet the tip of the crayon. It's super effective. And then just apply your wet crayon to the paper. The only thing is that you'll have to do that often. You'll have to constantly wet the tip and then apply and so on. And that's how I'm actually able to add all those branches on dry here. In a way that shows very well on paper, I know already I'm not going to be needing a bunch of layers. Again, I add black into this because shadows are important. We do need contrast somewhere. Just using one single color for branches, for example, just use brown. It will look a little flat and boring, so you really want to add something else, and preferably try to add a darker color to really make it look more 3D. And because, as always, I'm not a big fan of the graininess that shows with using the crayons directly on paper with that technique, and maybe also because I'm using cold pressed watercolor paper and that one has a little bit of tooth to it, which doesn't help with the grainy effect. I like to smooth that out with a wet paintbrush, and it's great that we have that option to use the crayons directly on paper, but also smooth it out with a paintbrush if we want to. The paintbrush also can help you get more creative with the type of lines you would like to make, depending on the paintbrush that you use and the size. The crayons alone, however, can get to such a fine tip that it's also easy to add details without a paintbrush, as you can see here. And one thing that I noticed is that with the sharpener that I used, I did not have any problem of the tip breaking or anything like that. They're very easy to sharpen. So if you prefer to use the crayons in that way and then combine that with a watercolor-like background like I did, it's very easy to do, as you can see. So here is what it looks like up close. And remember that you can paint this along on Patreon with my full guidance. And next, you may also watch this video that compares traditional watercolors to watercolor pencils and watercolor crayons. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching and see you next time.